Oilers' offense lowers the boom on Blackhawks in 7-3 win. Edmonton. Tyson Barrie scored a pair of goals as the Edmonton Oilers headed into their All-Star break hiatus on a winning note, coming away with a 7-3 victory over the lowly Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday night. Edmonton. Tyson Barrie scored a pair of goals as the Edmonton Oilers headed into their All-Star break hiatus on a winning note, coming away with a 7-3 victory over the lowly Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday night. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman each had a goal and 2 assists, and Evander Kane and Ryan McLeod also scored for the Oilers, 28-18-4, who have gone 7-0-1 in their last 8 games, leading into a break that sees them idle until February 7. Jason Dickinson, Jonathan Toews, and Taylor Radish replied for the Blackhawks, 15-29-4, who have lost 3 of their last 4 and entered the night sitting in second-last place in the NHL. Chicago had a glorious early chance when Andreas Athanasiou was sent in on a clear breakaway, but he bobbled the puck and was unable to get a shot on Oilers starter Jack Campbell. The Oilers took the lead 5:20 into the first period on a power play goal as Chicago goalie Petr Mrazek reached out to deflect a Barrie point shot, but it instead caromed off of his blocker and down into the net. Edmonton captain McDavid picked up an assist to give him points in 12 straight games and 29 of his last 30. Dickinson tied the game 5:25 into the middle frame as he scored his 7th on a partial breakaway after picking up a backhanded feed through the slot from Patrick Kane. Edmonton's lethal power play put them back in front just over a minute later as McDavid sent a nifty backhand return pass from behind the net to Draisaitl, who beat Mrazek for his 29th of the season. The Oilers surged ahead with a pair of goals less than a minute apart with about 8 minutes to play in the second period. Barrie scored his 2nd goal of the game and 7th of the season after Hyman tipped a shot that trickled behind the Blackhawks goalie, allowing him to sweep in and whack it into an empty net. McDavid then scored his league-leading 41st of the season, wheeling out from behind the net before elevating a beauty of a backhand shot past Mrazek. Hyman picked up his 3rd point in a 2:33 span a minute and a half after that, smacking home the rebound of a McLeod shot for his 26th of the campaign. Hyman has now scored in 5 consecutive games. Chicago got one back on the power play as Patrick Kane sent a perfect feed in front that Toews tipped past Campbell for his 14th. However, Edmonton answered back just 12 seconds later as an egregious turnover allowed Draisaitl to make a one-touch pass to Evander Kane, who rifled home his first goal since returning from having his wrist sliced open by a skate blade. McLeod made it 7-1 with 8 minutes to play as his shot was deemed to have crossed the line before defender Seth Jones could bat it out, even though play went on for a while before the horn sounded. The Blackhawks made it look better with 5 minutes left as Max Domi took advantage of a giveaway to send Radish in to score his 14th on a nice deke. Notes Oilers netminder Stuart Skinner came down with a sudden illness, forcing them to activate emergency backup goalie Matt Berlin, a player from the University of Alberta Golden Bears. With their big lead, the Oilers put him in net with 2:26 to play, saving the only shot he faced. Oilers forward Kane returned to the lineup after missing the last game while dealing with his bankruptcy case. As a result, James Hamblin was returned to Bakersfield of the AHL. Out with injuries for Edmonton were Kailer Yamamoto, undisclosed, and Ryan Murray, back. Chicago also had a prominent forward return as Toews was back after missing the last game with an illness. The Hawks were without Tyler Johnson, ankle, Jared Tenorti, facial fracture, Jujhar Khaira, back, and Alex Stalock, concussion. McDavid became the first Oilers player with 50 assists in 7 straight seasons since Jari Kurri, between 1982 and 1990, and the first player in the NHL with 40 goals and 50 assists in 50 or fewer games since Jaromir Jagr and Mario Lemieux both did it in 1995 to 1996. Up next, both teams enter into lengthy breaks, with neither returning until February 7. This report by the Canadian Press was first published January 28, 2023. Shane Jones, The Canadian Press.